Hi guys, it's Holly here at Faces. Welcome back to the Face It podcast. Today I'm here with the lovely Caroline from Eyeline Studio. Caroline, thank you so much for joining me today on the podcast.
Pleasure. Nice to be here.
Good. Your clinic is amazing, by the way. It's so beautiful. It looks really relaxing. So
Thank you.
fitting for this time in the afternoon. So let's just kick things off by talking a bit about your business then. So do you want to just give us some insight into how you got into this industry and how you built your business to where it is today?
Yeah, sure. So historically, my career started out as a registered general nurse, and I continued nursing and kind of veered off into doing a degree in nursing and health studies, and then kind of changed pathways a little bit, and then worked in the pharmaceutical industry for quite a while. So, and then I had two little girls and took a career break and was getting to the point where I thought, right, I'm ready now. I'm ready to get back to work. What do I want to do? Having been a massive fan of aesthetics for the last 21 years, possibly. So all things injectables, fillables, skin.
Yeah.
Semi-permanent makeup, you name it, I've probably had it or tried it. So always a massive fan. And, would go for my treatments and think, oh, I'd love to do this. I can do this. I can do this.
Absolutely.
So I kind of went through a phase of, okay, come on. So let's reinvent ourselves. What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? And I guess I started out really by focusing on skin and makeup and permanent makeup. And then it kind of just migrated into injectables. And so that's the story, really. And it's just gone bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I suppose I'm a little bit different to most clinics in that my ethos is that I want to be quite a private clinic, quite sort of personal and bespoke. So I don't have, a busy atmosphere. I don't have other team members. I don't have a busy waiting room. It's literally a very private place. You park next door, you come in, and then this is your space for however long you need it. So I'm very lucky to be able to offer that. And the reason I kind of focused on that is that what the way forward, I think, I think most clients, what they really want is to be able to come to you, talk about, what they want as a whole, and then for you to be able to pull out what it is they need and put it into a treatment plan. So maybe let's start with skin. Maybe let's get you on the right path. Maybe let's look at your gut health or your nutrition. Maybe are we looking at maybe a little bit of anti-wrinkle or do you want some great eyebrows? So it's kind of, get a bit of everything. And it's kind of just gone from that. So yeah, that's where I'm at, really.
Amazing. No, absolutely. I think I love the idea of it being like a safe space, very private, like you say. I'm someone, as if I was a client, would much prefer that. I just want it to be me and my injector, because it's all about me. I'm here for the experience. I don't want to be like in a busy clinic, like you say, with like people running around, music's loud. Like, I'm here to have me time and also relax and have a chat and probably offload after like
completely. I'm glad you said that, because a big part of what I do and why I love it is the interaction and the talking and the understanding, your client and getting to know them, and also the other way around as well. I think it's important for clients to get to know you, and if your clinic isn't conducive to that, then you're going to struggle to get that rapport with the clients. I mean, I have some clients that turn up in their sweatpants, they park up, they come in. And one lady the other week, I brought my fluffy socks, so she put her socks on.
Love that.
And at the end of the treatment, we did all her, the treatments and we did a few injectables and things, and then we're working on her skin as well. And I turned the lights down, I put some of her favourite chill music on, I wrapped her up in a blanket and just put her under the Dermalux lamp for half an hour. and she just, you could see her physically just, having a bit of time. So I'm really lucky that with my business, I can organize myself to give that time to clients. So yeah, it's nice. It's a really happy, chill sort of place.
Yeah, I want to come and visit. I want to get under the light with a blanket. That's what I want.
The thing is, Holly, though, and I think most practitioners will resonate with this, is we don't do it for ourselves.
Yeah.
If I need to come in here and just, do that for me for half an hour. In fact, I might just treat myself next week. But yeah, it's important in today's climate that we take a step back and just relax a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. No, I completely agree. I just want to touch on how the industry's changed since you said you've been getting, treatments and injectables for like 20 years now.
Yeah.
So you will have seen how, not even just working within the industry, but having treatments yourself, how treatments, the industry, products, techniques have like developed over the years. Can you just like talk a little bit about that in terms of your experience when you first started getting treatments to now?
Absolutely. I mean, literally, my daughter's 21 in a couple of weeks. Obviously, I took time out from it all when I was pregnant and breastfeeding, but it's been a long journey. When I first started out, there was very little information out there for clients. It was a lot of it was word of mouth. You would end up going to a surgeon maybe, or an ENT specialist. That was pretty much it. Then as time went on, it sort of expanded a little bit more within the medical field. But it was quite a limited choice in where you could go. It was very limited in terms of, what information you could get. I mean, follow-up care was pretty non-existent. So it's all migrated into a better place. But, along the way, it's also gone big. It's gone huge. With the likes of social media, etc. And there's pros and cons with both elements to that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think information is power, and I think that's really good. I think also accountability. So if I was to go right back to when I first started having my Botox and my fillers, you really didn't feel that you could challenge what was being put in, or how's it going to work, or and your expectations. And it was no fault of the practitioners. It just, we weren't at that stage in aesthetics. Whereas now, if you fast forward, it's a hot topic, and it's very popular, and it's accessible to, pretty much all, unless there's contraindications over 18. Yeah. And it's, it's all over social media. So it's hot stuff, and people are interested.
Yeah.
I guess you're probably going to move on to the legislation part in a minute. Did you want me to go into that? Or?
In a while. No, yeah, don't talk about that just yet. I'm enjoying it.
But yeah, it's massively improved and changed. I'm still a huge fan. And I think, there might still be a certain client out there that's a little bit fearful. However, from some research that I did not so long ago with a marketing course, I believe it takes on average about 2 years for a client to start looking at aesthetics, what's available, what can it do for me? And it takes literally about 2 years to get from that first looking to getting in front of a practitioner and feeling comfortable to go, right, okay, I'll go to the next level. So there's quite a process involved, and I think that's where you need to make sure that you're understanding your client and their expectations. One of the biggest things, sort of going back and then looking at where I am now, in terms of what I've had done over the years, is I didn't really understand expectations. I didn't know what I was really entitled to have or feel afterward. It was kind of managed. And, I kind of just trusted that everyone out there doing it was safe.
Yeah. Do you know what? I completely agree. So I'm 28 now. I first had my lips done when I was 18, so 10 years ago. And that was, even 10 years ago, that was when it was like the big lip trend. And it was just like lips. Like everyone just wanted lips. And like, I remember all my friends that are getting the lips done, I'd never been concerned around the size of my lips. but I was like, well, they're getting it done, so I'll get it done. And I completely, you know, agree with what you're saying. You know, I went to a practitioner. I didn't know what product was being used. I didn't know to ask either. I just trusted that they were an expert. And also there was no like Russian lip trend or really talking about the shape. It was just go and get your lips done. Like that was now it's like, oh my God, I can guarantee I could open Instagram now and there'd be like a picture of some quite unrealistic looking lips on there.
There's exactly. It was nothing like when I started. It was literally like you say, I'd like my lips doing, please. Can you do them?
Yeah, 1 mil lips. There we go, done. Like,
well, not even mil. They didn't even talk about when I first had it done. I had no idea how much was going in. And actually, the other thing that's changed. This is important. So going until the last couple of years, really, that I've noticed, people didn't expect a follow up 2 weeks later. So it was literally you would have your treatment, and then unless there were problems, you wouldn't go back. Whereas, you know, for me, definitely now, doesn't matter what you've had done, and you might be ecstatic with it. Come back in 2 weeks. Let's go over it. Let's talk about it. Do we need to do more? No, that's great. You're fine. So it's I like to think, and because most of my clients are having, you know, other things as well, I get to see them on a regular basis, so it's quite nice. I mean, you can map someone's face out for anti-wrinkle and fillers, but it's not, you know, if they're a new client, it's down the line that you start to understand how it's all working.
Definitely. And I think there's so many more treatments now, which I like to call gateway treatments, because they're kind of like the treatments that maybe people sort of dabble with before they get to the hardcore injectables, like your thermal fillers and your Botox and things. You know, there's microneedling, even skin boosters, obviously, you know, more superficial injections. And I think these days as well, there's so much more concern around the skin, which I think is great. You know, there's so much more out there around skincare. You know, I see teenagers now doing like their 8-step skincare routine, and I'm like, I wish I had that when I was a teenager, but wasn't there.
Mine, my eldest is 21 in a couple of weeks, and my youngest is 18 in a couple of weeks. And you know, when I look back over the years, from what they were doing to their skin, and they were pretty driven by social media, and anything that pops up, they were like, right, I'm going to try that. And it was maybe a couple of years. I mean, I've got quite a significant client base of, you know, sort of mid-teens to late teens who, you know, actually want to know more about skincare, but have problematic breakouts and problem skin. But I remember trying to educate the girls, going, don't just go and buy it because it's on Instagram. And you know, they're I mean, it's costing me a fortune sometimes, because Charlotte is just like, she's got this 8-plan step every evening, but you know, it's the way to go. You know, if your skin looks good, you feel good. And it's tied in with everything else, you know, and I'm a big believer in gut health as well. So
I know that's the other thing. It's, you know, I think people probably still do think this, but it's almost like Botox and fillers is like the answer. You know, it's a quick fix. It's not. It's even down to gut, what you eat, your lifestyle. You know, if you're not going to look after your skin, and if you're going out partying every weekend and you're eating crap, you know,
absolutely. And it's a bit of, it's a very, you've got to be a more holistic approach. And you know there are, I mean, I'm 53 in February, excuse me, and a lot of my client base, you know, is actually probably 35, 40 and beyond. So I deal with a lot of anti-aging, you know, and there's a big chunk of menopausal clients, and it's constantly, you know, trying to educate them in a nice way, you know, where they feel good. But so many will come in and, you know, they'll go, oh, right, okay, I want my Botox topping up, and I'll be like, yeah, no, cool, let's talk about that. What are you using on your skin? And it'll be like, well, I use Nivea. sorry, but you know, it'll be something that
you're like, no. Let's forget the Botox for now and start small.
So no, but it's a fun part of the job, just seeing people, and then you can go back and you go, I was looking at a picture of you 6 months ago when you first came to see me. So it's a journey. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, and it's the client journey. It's, you know, educating them that one treatment isn't going to fix everything. You know, we have to do other things as well. And also that's how you build the trust, like we said, with your clients. You know, you want that long-lasting relationship, and you want them to see that you are wanting to help them make a difference. You know, it's not just, okay, come in, I'll just inject a Miller filler and, you know, off you go. Okay, let's review this, let's see what could be next for you, and how you feel about it as well. So important. With regards to the treatments that you do then, so obviously you do a real sort of broad range across skin and aesthetics. What are the most popular treatments at the moment with your clients, would you say?
Obviously Botox and fillers, they're always going to be there, they're always going to have a place. I do a lot of chemical peels and microneedling, because I normally try and factor in a treatment plan that does a bit of everything. I do a lot of LED light therapy now as well. Semi-permanent makeup. I mean, eyebrows are still hugely popular. I've got clients in their late 70s that come in to have their brows topped up and done again. So there's always a stable influx of injectables. You know, skin boosters are big at the moment for me. You know, there's some new kids on the block with skin boosters, so I'm kind of, you know, trying to see where they all fit and who's,
what products do you like to use for skin boosters? Because I love asking this question, because there's, like you say, there's, you know, a couple of years ago, Profilo, and now it's like all these skin boosters. So what do you like to use?
So, and this is how I sort of explain it to clients. Profilo is the gold standard. So it was out first. It's got all the research and it works. It's brilliant. However, there are new ones out there, you know, and if you want to do your research and look at, you know, what's in them and the concentrations, then you'll find that there are some that are the same ingredients as Profilo. There are some that claim they have a higher concentration of hyaluronic acid. You know, there's another one, Julipro Hydro, Super Hydro, I've been trialing on me quite regularly. Which is the bonus of doing this. 70 Hyal has got a place in the market for me, because, you know, it's the right ingredients as far as I'm concerned, but you get 3 syringes, so your treatment plan can look quite promising for the clients. So I still get people coming in saying, I want my Profilo. 70 Hyal is becoming really popular. You know, for obvious reasons, it's not as expensive.
And the marketing is like crazy.
It's just gone mad. And actually that's becoming very talked about on social media. I'm getting clients coming in going, not saying, can I have some skin boosters? They're going, I want 70 Hyal. So you have to take a step back and go, well, tell me why it is you want that. I'm quite favouring the Julipro Super Hydro at the moment, but I'm kind of trialing me, so I'm on my 3rd syringe that's been spaced out over time.
I love that.
But I love it.
I just try it to make sure it's good for my clients.
Absolutely. And you know, throughout history, I've always neglected my neck and my décolleté, and so that's an area that I really want to try and improve. So I'm seeing good results with that. Amazing. So I mean, anything skin really, I do. Radio frequency, I try and, you know, if I'm doing a package for someone, it'll have a little bit of everything in it, really, kind of spaced out.
No, I love that. I love getting the recommendations, because I love how everyone has their kind of go-to products, but obviously more products are coming out. So I think it's helpful for anyone else listening who wants some new recommendations as well, because there's just it's so hard to keep up sometimes with everything.
Oh, massively. You need to sort of ask your peers and throw it out there. What's your experience? How are you getting on with this? Because Literally, you cannot keep up on your own with all the products and the techniques. We've got to share it so we can,
100%.
we can do best practice. Yeah.
Are there any treatments that you're looking to add to your treatment list, or
there's always new things coming on. The one thing I'm trying to be mindful of is, and this is where I use myself as a guinea pig most of the time. I will go and I'll get it done, or I'll investigate it. I'm quite mindful that I don't want to jump in with, because I know my clients very well and they're regulars, and I get obviously lots of new clients, but I don't want to rush in and go, this is new, it's supposed to be brilliant, let's try this. So yeah, there are other treatments that I'm looking at offering. I'm getting really more interested in the effects of phototherapy and LED.
Yeah.
There are obviously other injectable. There's so many new injection techniques for various things. So yeah, I'm dabbling in little bits. I'm constantly out there on training and doing stuff.
Good. It's so important to keep up to date, not only with trends, but just refreshing your skills. And like you say, there's new techniques coming out all the time.
Some of them are great, but some of them aren't, so it's good to take a step back and go, well, hang on, so this has just been all over Instagram, people are doing it, and then 6 months down the line you'll think that actually didn't go too well.
No one's
people
talking
don't
about
seem to, so I don't rush into things.
Yeah, amazing. So with regards to the faces app then, so I know you've used Faces for quite some time, which is great. You're very much a loyal Faces user, Caroline. Can you just talk a little bit about how Faces has helped with the runnings of your business and managing everything in your aesthetics career?
Yeah, sure. So I'm ashamed to say that, about 3 years ago, I was writing everything down. Everything was written. I know, but I am a tech dinosaur. I've got to be honest. I'm getting better. I'm getting much better. And it was a colleague, actually. We were in a meeting, and we were talking about consent forms, and I said, oh God, I'm still writing everything down. I need to sort myself out. Still locking up a filing cabinet, and and it was just chaos. It just wasn't great. And she said, well, I use Faces. Why don't you try it? It's not costing me anything at the moment, so it works for me. So I thought, yeah, okay, I need to do this. And the funny thing was that I was going away for a couple of days in Cornwall, and it was supposed to be like a step away from work, chill out, put your phone down. And in the morning, we just ordered some breakfast to the room, and my boyfriend said, what are you doing? And I was on my phone like this. And I literally just discovered Faces, and I saw that, oh my God, I can set up my clinic. I can put all my treatments in. All my treatments are described. I've got all my consent forms. I can tailor my consent forms. There's a pharmacy there. It's going to go into my calendar. And I was just like, and I had to do it. So I spent about 3 hours, but I did it in 3 hours. I set up my clinic. And just, from that point on, it was just easy, and that all your information is safe, it's professional, and it's just very easy. You can bang your consent forms out to your clients. You can get a little text message to remind them. You can you've got all your resources there, so if you've got issues or you're concerned about something, there's someone to chat to. The chat's really responsive. You get a response really quickly. It gives you information on what's happening, what's currently happening, what's the thinking. It tends to tick all the boxes for me anyway. And if a tech dinosaur like me can use it, then anyone can. So I would say give it a go.
You hit the nail on the head there, because I think I do say to practitioners, if you download it and you look at it, you're like, of course you're not going to know what to do, but if you actually spend the time, couple of hours, just clicking through, adding all your treatments in. We now have a chat, an AI feature, so we actually can generate the descriptions for you as well. So you don't have to
brilliant.
Yes, if you go to your treatments, you'll see it says generate via AI. and it generates a description for you, just to make things
cool.
easier as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you actually spend the time just clicking on everything, you know, seeing what everything is, of course, our team are there to support as well if you ever needed help getting set up. You know, it's not designed for software developers to use. It's designed for professionals like you guys who, you know, you don't have to be amazing at tech or using apps. You know,
Yeah, it's really you know, practitioner and client friendly. I mean, all my clients have just they just get on with it. There's never anybody that said, "Oh, I had a bit of a problem with it, or didn't understand this." It's very straightforward. It's easy to use, and it's for me, it's got everything there that I need. I love it. It's taken so much stress out of my clinic, because I hate that side of it. I hate all of the admin stuff, but it's got to be done, and you've got to do it well. So
yeah, exactly. Amazing. I'm so pleased it's working for you. And yeah, we're just constantly trying to evolve and grow with the industry as well. So, you know, our development team, we develop the app based on feedback we get from people using it, because, you know, I'm not a practitioner. I use it for work, but I don't use it in clinic. So we rely on you guys to tell us what you need, you know, what doesn't make sense, what could you benefit from, which we don't currently have on there. But I'm so pleased it's working for you.
yeah.
Just moving on to regulation then, Caroline, I know we briefly touched on it earlier, but we've obviously had the green, amber and red traffic light system released by the government, and everybody is asked to fill out the questionnaire. So if anyone watching has not done their questionnaire, do it, please. Give your views, no matter what it is. You know, now's your time to say how you feel and what you think. What are your personal views on what has been announced and sort of the idea of regulation and licensing in general?
So I think it's very welcome. I think, you know, it's long overdue. We need to have a system in place where it's safe for both practitioners and clients. I think that it's going to take some time to work out how to put it in place and make sure that it works for everyone. You know, there's a big separation sort of at the moment, I think, or some sort of concerns between medic and non-medic. There's a lot of practitioners out there. Some are medics, some aren't. There's a lot of great practitioners out there. Some are, some aren't. There's a lot of not so great that maybe need to do a little bit more in terms of getting where they need to be, that maybe are medics, maybe not. So I think, and I hope that, you know, I'm guessing it's going to take a couple of years to finalize everything and get it where it needs to be. But I hope that, you know, common sense will prevail, and that everybody will be able to work safer and in a better environment because of some of the things that are coming in. So personally, I think it's good. We need to be moving to that. Aesthetics has grown so quickly that I think it's quite an unmanageable thing at the moment. And when you look, yeah, it's a huge monster, and it's going to get bigger as well. Yeah. So yeah, I think you know, it's a journey that we're all going to have to go on. I think, like you say, it's incredibly important that we all put in our feedback here, because the government needs to know who is out there, who's working in the industry, what do you do and what do you want? How do we all work together to make it safer? So yeah, I mean, I welcome it. I just hope that it, you know, common sense prevails, and, you know, everybody who's in the industry and has a business is able to continue offering a great service.
Yeah, that's it. And, you know, I think personally, the government see it as very black and white. It's, you know, medic, and then it's non-medic who does Botox in the kitchen using unlicensed products. I feel like the term non-medic has developed a stereotype, which it shouldn't have. So, no, I agree. So anybody in this industry, or even who's not, you know, get your family, friends involved, you know, they need to know you know, how you're operating, because they don't know that, you know.
No, I completely agree. Yeah.
So yeah,
and that's the danger. That's the only danger that I see at the moment, is it's going to channel off into two very different categories, and the spin-off from that could be quite damaging, I think, to some people and their businesses. Whereas, you know, in any walks of life, in any industry, in any job, any profession, you get people who are at the top of the game, and you get people who perhaps quite aren't there, and you get some perhaps that maybe have chosen the wrong vocation or job. So, you know, it's I just hope it gets managed in the way that everybody comes out of it feeling good. But yeah, everybody needs to have their say, definitely.
100%. Just to finish on a more positive note then, I always like to ask this question. Is there sort of a time that you can think of, Caroline, in your career where you think, you know what, I'm so proud of that? Like, is there something that sticks out to you as like maybe a pivotal moment, or just a nice memory you can think of where you think, do you know what, I really love what I do?
Yeah, I mean, I've got so many. I have got so, and to be honest with you, and I hope this doesn't sound like a cliche, but it's every time I see a client, because it is not every time, but most of the time, to see them and how they feel, and you know, and their faces at the, and then just to know that you've made a difference, and they're happier. You know, they're a little bit happier than when they came in. If you wanted examples, then there's you know, 45-year-old lady who massively stressed out, real problem skin, took the plunge to invest in some skincare, and you know, we've got her skin looking amazing after quite a long time of constantly covering up with makeup, not wanting to go out. You know, some teenage girls that again just really struggling with their skin, who've messaged me and gone, oh my god, it's the first time I've woken up without a new spot. Anti-aging, putting a face plan together, a lady who thought she was past it, you know, late 60s, little bit of Botox, just a little bit, some new eyebrows, boom, she's out there. So that's it really for me. There's too many. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I can tell you're like glowing. But do you know what? I think it is such, if you love what you do within this industry, it is just such a rewarding career to have, isn't it? Because I just think if you can make someone feel good, feel more confident, you know, even just be like a good listener and they need to offload whilst they're sat on the couch, you know, you can't have a bad day at work, can you?
No, you know what? It's a two-way thing, and your energy goes back and forth between, you know, and your goal at the end is that energy's feeling good. You know, you might be a bit down, or they might be a bit down, but somehow through the process, you get to where you need to be. So yeah, it's a really special job. It is, and I love it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Caroline. I've loved speaking with you.
No, pleasure. Yeah.
Hopefully chat soon.
Yeah. All right, my lovely. Okay,
all right, bye. Take care. Bye.